evening, everybody. Certainly hope you all are having a good one. Hopefully the sound is okay. I had to reboot StreamYards, and I'm trying to put the settings back. If it sounds a little off, I do apologize. I'm trying to figure out the microphone at this point. I'm going to filters. I've got a edit filters. So I've got a noise gate, a noise suppression, and compressor on. So I'm going to add gain. I'm going to hold on. All right, there we go. Let's see here what I can add, because I'll have to sort through all these again. I literally forgot about this when I did the reset. So all right, so let me see here. Let me try. I got the compressor on. Let me try I got noise suppression on. I've got noise gate on. I got compressor on. I just have to go in and do the numbers again. So, all right then. So hopefully it sounds good. But welcome. Glad you all are here. It's Sunday, and so yeah, got a few things to talk about. First things first, my thoughts go out to all the families affected by the attempt on Trump's life yesterday. Apparently, two people are really badly wounded, and one person has passed away. But Trump got shot in his ear, and he reported that he also got shot in his chest, but the bulletproof vest caught the bullet going to his chest. So that's a good thing. He seems to be okay and in good spirits. Again, I think the president's going live here in about another hour and a half. President Biden's going live. So I don't think we'll see Trump again until next week at the at the Republican National Convention. I've been seeing the memes from Emperor Palpatine saying the attack on me the assassination attempt on me has left me scarred. So shout out to the people who found that meme, and that he may come out and say that for all we say. But anyway, this had a few things to talk about. That was one of them. Also, I restarted playing Detroit Become Human, and I did get I finally figured out how to get out of that crazy house with where Kara got captured and all that kind of stuff. Because the first time I played it, I really couldn't get out of there. And it still advanced the scene, but it just showed that dude coming up to me. And like the guy that was at the house, the bodyguard, whatever you want to call him, Luther or something like that. So after that, I never saw Kara again. Like, I never saw her again. I think I was walking down the street with Marcus, and I saw another Kara, but it wasn't her. I also didn't know you could change her hair. I didn't know that. Like, I figured that out yesterday. I also used her to steal some clothes and steal some money, and that was actually pretty cool. So used the little girl as a distraction and stole $50 out of the cash thing and stayed in the hotel. And she got into the mirror, and she actually could change her hair to white, blonde, brunette. I forgot what the other one was, but I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that's why I would see different pictures of her, and that is that's why I was like, well, why do they have blonde hair? I thought maybe somebody had went in and did some kind of editing. I'm like, all right, well, that's what she looks like with blonde hair, and that's what she looks like with white hair. I had no idea that they could do that, but I took a different pathway. I didn't stay in that crummy old house. There was like an old house on the corner. I didn't stay there. That's where I stayed the first time. I didn't stay there the second time. And so, but that game is neat in a sense that if one of your characters, one of those robots goes down, they go down. The story ends. Like, I went down with Connor, pause. He got messed up. I hit the wrong button and he got messed up, and it ended. Like, that ended that part of the story. So, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I went back. So it's actually pretty neat. Enjoying it. Rest in peace to Sam Clancy. That's the guy who plays Connor's partner. Also, rest in peace to Shannon Doherty. Grew up watching Shannon Doherty on 90210. She played Brenda. That's Brandon's sister. I think Brandon and Brenda were supposed to be twins. So I think somebody can double check that. But yeah, she lost her battle with cancer. She's been fighting cancer for years, and finally, she was 53 years old. So that's scary. That is scary. But yeah. So Hero Down Under's in the house, and he gave her white hair. Yeah, I didn't know you could do that. Like I haven't played this game in almost 5 years because it came out in 2018. It was my 2018 game of the year, and so it didn't get nominated, but I didn't get mad. I'm like, well, this is the best game I've played this year. So, but I mean, that's what I've been playing here. I won't be picking up my college football game until Thursday because I'm too busy during this week. And I paid for the one. That's just it. Shout out to everybody that's downloading now. Shout out to J-Dub. He's downloading his now, and he'll be able to play it like tomorrow at, I don't know if it's 1 o'clock Pacific time or 4 o'clock Eastern time. It's something like that. But again, that game is there's so much depth in it that I will be playing it, but it's got a lot of RPG elements. Your players have got to go to class. They can enter the transfer portal. It's all kind of things. It's really in depth. Sam Clancy is I believe that's his name is Sam Clancy. He also did the voice acting on Mass Effect Andromeda. He played your father. He played your father. I believe his name is Sam Clancy. So, but somebody can double check that. I do believe he. Hold on, Alexa, is Sam Clancy? Did he pass away?
Here's what I found from fansided.com. Best-selling author Tom Clancy has passed away at the age of 66 years old.
Yeah, about Sam. It knows about Tom Clancy. I think his name is Sam Clancy. I think that's who played him. But you can double check it. He plays Connor's partner. I think he's played by. I think that's the name I saw in the credits. I thought he gave that. Yeah. I almost went with white hair. I went with blonde hair because I kept on seeing the previews and people had her with blonde hair. She actually looks better with the blonde hair. Now, if you could change her eyes, that would have been something else. I would have been like, holy smokes. But yeah, it was good. It's good so far. And like I said, it's my game of the year from 2018. Didn't get nominated. God of War. If you want to know who won in 18, God of War. God of War won. It beat it won on a landslide apparently. It also beat Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which was another great game, and it also beat who else did it beat? Red Dead Redemption 2. It was in that category. That was a tough as nails category. And then Sony came back 2 years later and won it again with The Last of Us. And Ghost of Tsushima was nominated. Had Ghost of Tsushima come out in 2021, 2022, something like that. Say it would have came out right before the launch of the PS5. And they would have said, but I think it would have won Game of the Year. That game is good as well. It's good as well. But anyway, I just want to talk to you all about this. I did play the CONCORD open beta, which was open to everybody on Play. If you had Plus this weekend, it was open to everybody who had PlayStation Plus. And let me make this clear. I thought the game was fun. Now I'm going to review it as far as the way I interpreted the game. You have like 8 to 10 characters. They do have a lot of stuff you can itemize them with, but I didn't have that. I did not have any of that. So, but there's a lot of stuff there. I finally settled, and I've used them all. I finally settled on the green person. It's like a green girl. And that to me, as far as the way I would play that game, that's the way for me to play it. So that with that said, I am recommending the game if you like first person hero shooters. And so I will recommend it on that level. The game was fun. I had fun playing it. It was just I was playing Friday night and I was sleepy. And as I was playing it, I'm like, all right, I'm starting to get sleepy. So, and I put it in a second tier of games. My first tier of games is the college football game, which is coming out in 100 plus hours. That I'm going to pick it up, I should say. That game, Madden, and Star Wars. Those are that's on my first 3 lines. My second three lines is CONCORD, Black Myth Wukong, and Astrobot. Okay, those are on that second tier line. And that third tier is the Aloy Lego Adventure. So it is what it is. And but the characters in the game, I enjoyed the characters. But yeah, they just gave it was now there's other modes on there, but they just gave us the one mode. I think they gave us like 2 or 3 arenas, and there are people trying to tell you. I've heard multiple people trying to tell you that, and I want to speak on this why. It's the ponies that are complaining because they're not getting what they wanted. I heard people saying that just bring back Resistance and bring back Mag, but it's the same damn thing. These games have not changed since the 90s. I was playing games like this in 94, 95. We had Forsaken, we had Descent. We had all these games where you sat down and you piloted a ship, or it was a group of people. We had Rainbow Six, we had Ghost Recon, but these games have not changed since in 96. It was flag capture, it was defend the flag, it was sniping, it was stuff like this. And I'm like, yeah, well, guess what? You're still doing that now. That's what you're doing now. And it was the 1st to 30, which I also like because you just don't get infinite stuff. But the game itself for me was fun. Now, those things, those characters have all types of different I don't know, techniques and different things they can do. I just wasn't for sure how to use them because I was just running around and shooting. So there are things about it I did like. There are things I didn't like but those are like, yeah, I've already done this 100,000 times, 20 years ago. So, and because that's how long I've been playing. I've been playing since the 70s, right? So, but I like the fact, and I always say here, if the ponies are upset, then it's a good thing because that means Sony's doing the right thing. You do not want to make the fanboys happy. You want to make the overall fan base happy. Nobody cares about what the fanboys are saying because they're going to buy this stuff anyway. Number one. Number two, I keep hearing, well, they canceled The Last of Us Factions for this. Yeah, because it was the same thing. What were you going to do in The Last of Us Factions that you don't do in Concord? You're just going to run around and shoot, and you're going to do the same thing in Factions. So that to me makes no sense at all. So you might as well just go ahead and go with the newer console or with the newer platform gamer because it's like, well, if they're going to both be the same thing, just do the new one. I've heard people say, well, it's a blatant ripoff of Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, and they said that's exactly what they were doing. They were like, we like Guardians of the Galaxy, so we're going to make a game similar with those types of characters. Yeah, that's exactly what it's. I agree. So what? They told you what they were doing. They delivered on what they said they were going to do. And these homosexuals run around like they didn't know. And I do not understand that. So what does that have to do with Concord? Online, very simple. The guys that are filing the complaint wanted The Last of Us game. They wanted that game. And what you're actually seeing, I told you there were going to be Sentinel events that took place. They were going to separate the fanboys from the gamers. And that's what's happened. This is just another Sentinel event. So the gamers actually are going to, if they like these type of games where you're running around, shooting, that's fine too. This game is for you. If that's not what you like, however, then don't buy this game. Because, and again, it's $40, and there are people saying that $40 is stressful for people. Well, guess what? If you're stressing over $40, then you got other problems than playing games. And I'm seeing a lot of entitlement here because people want to do things and feel included. They want to feel included, but they don't want to have to pay the cost to be the boss. And again, I wanted a TV that had a great picture. I had to go out and spend over $1,000. I mean, that was my limit anyway, right? That's why I tell you guys, what is your limit when looking at a TV? Because again, mine is $1,000 and everybody shops differently. Somebody may say, well, I only want to pay $899. Okay, well then here's your choices. So, you know, for a good TV, and you need to understand, Sony and Samsung's TVs normally don't come in at that price unless they're on sale. So yeah, it's they said what they were going to do. And what happened was, because and I'm telling you all this, I mean, look, these guys are telling you things from a console war point of view. Extreme was right. Is that these guys don't want Sony to fail because then it will be used against them in a console war. Even though the console war is over with. 4,000 Australia is your limit. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what you all's money is to ours, but 4 stacks, you can get you whatever you wanted for that. Hell, you can get a 77-inch GTV. Yeah. You got the Samsung Q Dot. Yeah, there you go. Again, that's a great TV. I mean, to me, Samsung TVs are too bright. But like they have a good artificial light source in them, like one of the best I've seen. If you put it on dynamic, if you put that on dynamic, you're going to get one hell of a picture. But an airplane may try to land on your house because it looks like it's that bright. It is that bright. Oh yeah, 2,500. Oh well, then yeah, you'll get a real good one. Yeah, because if I walked in the Best Buy with $2,500, I can walk out with that GTV. That is arguably one of the best looking TVs I've seen. It is that good. But so what you're seeing is, and it's okay not to like something. I'm going to say that as well. It is okay not to like something. There's things I don't like. I don't like pork and beans. And then I see people putting them on their hot dogs. Like, bleh, you know, but I don't like that. But this doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's not your type of game. And it's fine that it's not. I want to make that clear. But with the added salt of these guys is that they are upset that something that they wanted did not get made. It's too bright, so you set brightness to medium. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's they were bright back when they were LCD TVs, and LCDs got real hot. Like I would have my LCD TV on for maybe 5 hours at a time because it would get that hot. So it just would. That's just the way it is, right? So, but you know, like Fortnite, yeah. So you don't play it, right? And that's what it is. They're basically saying, well, I wanted something else. Why do this when you have the ability to do The Last of Us or MAG or Resistance Fall of Man, which man must have fallen constantly because it was 3 Resistance games. But the answer to those people is because they're doing the exact same thing. So you might as well try something new. You know, at first, these guys, again, remember what I told you all. It was going to be, we want to see XYZ game, Sony. Marlon set up right up there on his daggone podcast. It was like, we need to see CONCORD. We need to see CONCORD. We need to see what it looks like again because he needs something to talk about. I'm just going to start calling it like it is. Okay? I'm going to start calling it like it is going forward. And that dude is just hilarious. Now, I want to give a big shout out to Sick Humor and the rest of them because they spotted him a million miles away, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt. That's on me. I got to take the L. But that dude right there is one of the issues, is that it look like he will say he wants to see something because, quote, I'm going to quote him, Sony not telling me anything makes my job hard, end quote. That's a quote from Marlon Gaming Nation. So, and again, I did watch his podcast when he did his review on CONCORD. And he said, I'm going to quote him again, I like the game. I'm having fun with the game. Only to 48 hours later, say, I don't like it anymore. I mean, seriously, that's what you got out here. So, he probably is saying stuff like, where's The Last of Us? Where is MAG? Where is, Resistance? And he's probably one of those guys because that's what he wants to come back. And since Sony's not giving him what he wants, he's bitching and moaning. They're all doing that. MBG's doing that. All right, we lost factions for this. No, you lost factions because it was going to be the same game. It was the same game as what you're playing, and you might as well just give a new studio a crack at it. Like, yeah, the Naughty Dog can go make something else. It may take them 3 years, but it's fine that they want to make something else. I'm all for them making something else. But The Last of Us, I mean, can somebody tell me what you did in Factions that was so special that, that made it stand out? Just, that I can't do in Concord? And, seriously. And again, I don't like these. You all know I don't like these type of games where you call in the B2 and getting one-man army. But so far, Sony's games as a service has been Gran Turismo, MLB The Show, Helldivers 2, and Concord. And I think there was another one in there. So, Monty Watson's, you streamed it on YouTube a few days ago, was playing with J-Tech. You uploaded it. Well, that's fine. No. I'm not saying, people are allowed not to like something. I want to make that clear. You definitely don't have to like something. But it just seems that the vitriol, and I heard J-Dub kind of talking about it, and it literally, and Sick Humor, he talked about it earlier today. Of course, I was struggling to get my Streamlabs, or whatever it's called here, Streamlabs, OBS, whatever I'm calling this damn thing. I was struggling to get that fixed. But again, these guys want these games to fail because they just want Sony to go back and do what they were doing at the PS3, and they're not going to do that because that was a PS3. Well, they could remake, and they could remake the this game and that game, yeah. But then you're going to scream it's a remake. Where's the new games? You see what I'm saying? I just want you all to see my methodology of the thinking. All right, so these guys are screaming, where is this game? And now the game comes out in a beta. And what are they screaming? The beta is trash. Remember, I told you that's exactly what they're going to do. Like, hey, look, you scream you want to see the game, and then you bitch and moan like a girl. Then you actually see the game, and it's a beta, and it's trash, it's sloppy. Go back to the Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2, the video game. When they show early footage, like a early beta, late alpha of that game, it was like, this game looks like trash. It don't look that, it's like, damn, my guy, you are watching a friggin' alpha, a beta, and you're attacking it because you want something to talk about. I, for one, sick of it. I'm sick of it. And I'm just calling people out, and it's not going to be me saying, I'm telling you how I feel. Nah, I'm a grown man. I'm going to tell you the truth. Fuck the way you feel. You like these dudes? These dudes are clowns. Straight up clowns. It's okay not to like something, but when you have an agenda, shout out to Lou Spurt Fernando for subscribing, by the way. When you have an agenda, I got to call bullshit on your agenda. And at the end of the day, these guys are not getting what they wanted, so they're throwing a fit. Again, I'm asking The Last of Us Factions, what is the big deal about that? What was so special about it? What was so special about it? You got J-Tech out here calling everything woke. Like, I don't think he knows what that means. It's like a new word he learned. Like a child that learns a new word and just keeps saying it. I don't think he knows what that means. Like, look, my guy, that came from the alt-right. Came from a bunch of racist white people. You running around adapting their lingo. Fuck's wrong with this dude, right? So, at the end of the day, I can't say at the end of the day. That's my bad. In the end, it doesn't even matter because they're going to do what they want. So what they now want is for games like this to fail so that they stop making them. Not understanding they're going to keep making games like this. So I hear Factions is fun. What made it stand out from everything else? I literally just told you stuff I was doing in the 90s. We were playing Capture the Flag, you were playing Base Defense, and you were playing Team we called it at the time, it was called Domination. So that was just whoever could score the most points. What did you do in Factions? And I'm asking, because I never played Factions. So what did you do in Factions that we didn't do in 1995? I'm asking. So, well, Monty, like I said, y'all gotta. Well, I can't say you gotta call him out. I'm just telling you where the word originates from. It is part of the alt-right. That's where it comes from. So he is repeating that constantly, you know, which makes zero effing sense to me why a black man is repeating things from the alt-right. But that is his issue. That ain't mine. I don't use the term. It's a stupid, I told you all what it meant. It means anti-white male, anti-white heterosexual male. I don't know how a game is anti-white sexual male, but anti-white heterosexual male, I should say. But again, according to JTech, all these games are woke now. So, and again, I don't know why JTech and other people don't go make their own game. You know, if everything is so bad, why do you do a podcast then, JTech? If things are all woke, you know, you see what I'm saying? So, you know, you all got to decide on that for yourselves. But the game itself is fun to play. It is addictive because once you get knocked out, you want to jump back in, you know. So, and that's part of the game's appeal to me personally. Now, Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 is a blatant ripoff of Starship Troopers. It's a blatant ripoff of Starship Troopers. Go watch Starship Troopers and then go play Helldivers 2. It's the same thing. And if you didn't know this, I'll break this now. There's a Starship Troopers game coming out, which is going to be just like Helldivers 2, because that's exactly what you're doing. It's the same thing. You're out there on bug-infested planets trying to kill the bug. So somebody said as primary PlayStation, you have no complaints this year from the get-go. Well, I mean, it's okay to complain, but these guys, they're delivering games, and they have been. That's what was it, Colin Moriarty or whatever his name is. That's what he was saying. It's bullshit. I agree with him. Check out the 1440p camera, by the way, guys. I mean, we got it going 1440p today. So, and I don't get where those people get it from. So ultimately, what that means is Sony has no games. Translation. Sony hasn't put games out that I want to play. Therefore, Sony has no games. All right. That's what that translates to. We need to see stuff, Sony, so that we can get people excited for the games. Translation. I need something to talk about on my trash ass piece of shit podcast I do, and Sony's not giving me no information. Therefore, it makes what I do harder. That's what that translates to. Basically, I'm a selfish prick. That's what these guys are saying. And again, they may shut down the servers to Concord tonight for all I know, right? I have no idea because again, I'm not there in these rooms. I'm not in the rooms when these metrics of success get made. And that's why I'm like, I've said to people, well, how do you know something was successful? How do you know something was successful if you're not in the room or rooms when the metrics of success are being made? You know what I'm saying? That's the question I wanted you to ask yourselves. You know, well, this game's going to flop. Were you in the room when they set the measures of success? No, then shut up. That's literally what you need to start saying. You know, and again, Concord might flop. It could. That other one, the Destruction All-Stars, it didn't do well. Foam Stars, I think it was called Foam Stars, that didn't do well. So again, it depends on when these games come out. But Valerian, is that what it's called? It's not doing all that well either. It's not. So these games are just hit and miss. And that's the sad thing, is like Extreme said, and I agree with him 100% on this. Sony has the right to put stuff out, and if it doesn't do well, they got to learn from it. They have to learn from it. Like, hey, don't call that play against that defense. You're going to lose yards. You see what I'm saying? So you don't do that. However, but they deserve the right to fail. And these fanboys don't want them to fail because they are looking at everything through the eyes of the console war. Even though the console war is over, they still are going to look at it through the eyes of the console war. And that's where the immaturity, the bullshit, that's what I got. I'm calling that out. You know, I'm calling that out because again, it's okay to dislike something. I've never been, this whole year has been out, and I haven't played every new release that Sony has put out because some of it does not appeal to me. But overall, The Last of Us Part 2, they did that and people bitched about it. Well, why can't they do Part 3? Or why aren't they not doing the online mode? Again, it just comes down to, I want Resistance, Fall of Man, which man failed 3 times. I want SOCOM. I want MAG. And because I'm not getting why don't they just remake those games, and then we will play them? We'll stop bitching. You're gonna bitch no matter what, is what everybody knows, right? They're gonna bitch no matter what. So now it falls upon people like you all to stop listening to them. Again, that's up to you. That's up to you. I am sitting here trying to tell you what I'm observing. And again, you have a right to listen to who you want to listen to. You're listening to me right now. You don't have to. Make sure you hit that like button, by the way. However, these guys, it's no different than the state of play that Sony had. And these guys got mad and said, well, I wanted a showcase. Again, selfish pricks. So again, that's the truth. They wanted information from Sony. Sony gives them information. And now the information isn't good enough because it's not what they wanted. Even if it had been a showcase, it still wouldn't have been enough because it would have been, well, you have to showcase where our release dates. You see, so it's always going to be something with those guys. The fanboys are acting like this is the end of Sony, of Concord. Yeah, if it fails, and then all the rest of your games as a service this year, MLB The Show, Gran Turismo, Helldivers 2, all those games are doing well. Those are games, and Sony counts them as games as a service. I don't know. Again, I don't know what their metrics are on that, but it is what it is. Sony owns part of Epic. Fortnite is still an extremely successful game. So again, I'm just trying to tell you all that it's good that the fanboys are upset, because that means that Sony's doing the right thing. You don't want these guys to be too happy. I mean, to me, bitching and moaning doesn't solve anything. Go create your own stuff, then you're over it. This is the same thing I said to the Star Wars people. Star Wars is no longer for people who watched it in the late 70s, early 80s. You got to remember, Star Wars was 1977. But you got these guys out here saying things like, well, in order for it to be a mega hit, they have to target it towards men. It's like, no, dumbass. They target families. They're targeting the kids of the families. End of discussion. They don't care about the adults. All the sense to get the adult's job is to get you to the movie theater. But Disney doesn't care about that stuff. Disney is about the next group of people coming to the theater. Nothing else. Nothing else. Now the Osaka series, things like that, those are for the people who read the books and watched the Clone Wars. That's what it's for. The Acolyte. You gotta read the books. If you read the books, you're gonna be like the Clone Wars is good, and then so is Acolyte. But if you're just some 41-year-old man, I'm just putting a number out there, you're a 41, 42-year-old man upset over something on Star Wars, it's like, bitch, go write your own stories. They have an address that you can just send stories to, and then they will read them. And the worst thing they can say to you is that this shit is trash. Get it out of here. It's corny. All right, that's the worst thing they can say to me. Like when we're doing, I'll use myself for example. We're doing a Star Wars story. The worst thing they're going to say to us is that they don't like it. Okay, fine. It's not the end of the world that they don't like it. They didn't like it. You can send, we didn't like this. They're not going to just send a letter back saying we don't like it. They'll send a letter back saying that here's what we didn't like. Here's what we like. Maybe go in on this. Again, it is what it is. But Concord, Sony has a right to put games like Concord out. They're saying it's okay to put games like this out, but it needs to be games like MAG. Well, why don't you bring that back? Because they don't want to. That's why. That's why. Okay? And, why bring back something? You're already complaining about remakes and remasters. I mean, these guys are complaining about it, right? So why bring back something remastered? Because that's what it would be. That's what it would be. Bring back SOCOM. you just did a podcast saying Sony got too many remasters. What are we doing here? What are we doing? What the hell are these guys talking about? So, my whole point to you all has been that there were going to be sentinel events that happened within the gaming community, and it was going to separate the gamers from the fanboys, and that's what you're getting right now. And I for one love it. I love it because I'm looking forward to playing Madden. I'm looking forward to playing the Star Wars game. I'm looking forward to playing, the college football game. I'm looking forward to Black Myth Wukong. I'm looking forward to playing Phantom Blade Zero, possibly the Aloy Adventures game. Possibly. I mean, again, I'm looking into hopefully getting that on the free, as you kids would say. I'm looking to get that on the free. That's what they were saying. These women got caught shoplifting from Walmart, and they were ones yelling at the other. You said you want to come up here and just get it on the free. Get it on the free is what she said. So really, that's pretty much my thoughts on this stuff. So do I recommend Concord? If you like shooters, yes, play it. Because again, and I'm still looking for somebody to explain to me what is in factions that is so damn important that somebody else can't try to do something. What are you doing? What are you doing in factions? Somebody said it was fun. Okay, what did you do? What did you do? And again, Concord for me is fun. I'm going to buy it. It'll be out right around my birthday, so it gives me something to do. Gives me something to do. Yeah, there's people still playing SOCOM, but again, if they were to remake it, isn't that a remake that you were screaming about? Oh, but it's a remake of something that you want. There's the catch. Because they want that remake. That remake is okay. They took this from us. They took what was it? Days Gone 2. Can somebody explain to me what is so good about Days Gone? Like, what is so good about that game? I'm asking. Again, it's not that I didn't enjoy parts of the game. I liked it. Only thing you all kept saying to me was Sawmill Horde. That's what people keep saying to me. Well, I mean, you got to take on the Sawmill Horde. Like, that was some big deal. I mean, you had an M60 and Napalm. You couldn't beat the Sawmill Horde. All you had to do was run around and climb that ladder and run back around. They had like a circle, like it was online. They had a whole circle. You just ran around. You would bottleneck them. And again, because they wouldn't come around the other way. Well, maybe they would. I don't know. They didn't know me. But to me, the hardest horde on that game was the one at this college. That horde killed me like 20 times. I'm like, all right, I got to go up high because they don't come up steps. So can somebody explain to me what's the big deal about Days Gone? It was so that we want Days Gone too. Like, that's what they sound like. So it is what it is. So boycott Activision saying that Concord is good. Hurricane Concord is good. Again, I like it. I'm going to put it in there that Concord is good, but I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. I'm going to say to you that I'll just say it was fun. It was fun. So I guess the beta closes tonight at midnight Eastern time. So the question then becomes, am I going to buy it? The answer is yes. Am I going to pre-order it? No. I'll just go pick it up. Or, I'll buy it digitally like I did Helldivers 2. So that Sony owns both IPs. What IP? What IP? But yeah, they have the right to fail. Not every game is going to be this AAA hit. You cannot be Sony needs to talk more and bring in more indies and stuff like that. That's what they did with Stellar Blade. And I think Stellar Blade, their IPO went public and they raised over $800 million on a public IPO. So congrats to them. We're getting a sequel because people supported their IP. You're getting a sequel. They're already starting to work on it. That's great. So, and it is a beta. Very good point. It is a beta. So it's not like it doesn't have all this. It could be better, but that's what the beta's doing. They're testing the internet. They're seeing which characters are being used the most so they can refine them. That's what they're going to do. Starship Troopers and Helldivers, same thing. That Starship Troopers video game is coming out, I think, this year. You got that coming out, games as a service. You have War of the Worlds coming out, games as a service. It is, you know, Call of Duty Black Ops coming out, games as a service. So you're going to have all these, the Fortnite update. Whatever happened to PUBG? You know, people were jerking themselves off for PUBG. What happened? What happened? You know, so, but again, Helldivers is Starship Troopers. Everything from dropping down to getting out to there being bugs that's coming out of nowhere like they did in Starship Troopers. It is what it is. But I'm not complaining because Starship Troopers is a good comic book. It's fun to read. Now, the first movie was corny as hell, but it was fun to watch. I didn't watch Starship Troopers 2 at all because Starship Troopers 1 wasn't great. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? So the devs of CONCORD recently announced that they extended the beta to Monday. Oh, to tomorrow? Okay, fair enough. That's fine. I got no issues. Monty White says, you don't know the last time you saw MBG play a game and CONCORD a good game, and it's in beta. Has that PS. But yeah, you can tell it's quality. You can tell it's quality. I don't disagree. Oh, they own Starship Troopers and Helldivers. Yeah. Well, they own Starship Troopers movie rights. I don't know about the game rights. That's different. They might. I'm not saying that they don't. So, but I know they own the movie rights. Just like they own movie rights to Spider-Man, but the game rights are owned by Marvel Games. So, very good chance that SIE does not own Starship Troopers game rights. That's why it's going to be a multiplayer game. You watch the first 10 minutes of Star. Yeah, it didn't look bad, but again, the first one wasn't great, but it was fun to watch. It was a good old-fashioned Saturday popcorn movie. Like, I just watched that Godzilla versus Kong X, whatever it was called. It was straight up garbage. I mean, it was so bad, but my girlfriend enjoyed it. She sat up there and was like, yeah, this is entertaining. Okay, well, that's what we watch the movies for. So, and she watched Oppenheimer with me. She was like, well, I liked it, but it was just so damn serious. Like, yeah, it's about quantum physics and theoretical sciences. So, yeah. So, but I want you all's opinion on this. I want you all's, honest opinion. If you don't like it, it's okay to say, I want to make this clear. It's okay to say, I don't like it. I'm not here to defend the game. I'm here defending the fact that what I told you all was true. So I was right again. I told you all there was going to be Sentinel events coming up. It was going to separate the ponies from the from the actual gamers, and that's what's happening. You got people telling you that the college football game looks like a PS3 game. It's just like, man, F you. F you. You haven't even put your hands on it yet. I've seen some guys playing it. Looks good to me. But the college game has always been different than Madden. All that's happened now is that the college game is all pro offenses now. That's what happened because the kids wanted to go to the NFL. Part of the recruitment was, well, why are you going to school X? They run a veer. Why are you going to Oklahoma? They run wishbone. You come to University of Texas, we run a pro-style offense, meaning that they would have an I backfield or a one back offense and stuff like that. So, and it is what it is. But you got the transfer, like I said, you got the transfer portal. You got to make sure those kids are going to class. I'm gonna be buried in it, but it'll just be my weekend game, which means I got to get rid of something else on my PlayStation because I've only got like 825 megs and it's almost all gobbled up. So, but that's all I had for you guys. We can do a Q&A if you want to, but if there's nobody's gonna ask any questions, then I'm gonna bounce because it's 7 o'clock and I'm gonna go wash my dirty drawers. But I agree with Johnny Gaming. Yeah, PlayStation fanboys are acting like this is the end of Sony of CONCORD. I agree. Hero down there call them hypocrites. Yep, they are. They are. So, because we can import the draftee to Madden 25 at the good old days. Yeah. Hey, that's and also remember on Madden, you can put the draft in right now. You can put that draft in right now if you want to play Madden, the Madden from last year. If you want, and I won the Super Bowl with Madden with the Bengals. I went 17-0. I blew out the Dallas Cowboys after being down 10-0 like an idiot. So they went down and they scored a touchdown. Then the very next series, I threw a pick across the middle because I threw it late. I was down 10-0 and the brakes were coming off. Then I threw that out pass to Jamar Chase. I used the Bengals. I threw that out pattern to Jamar, and for some reason the safety was way off. And when the safety was way off, I was able to get that 10-7, and then I stopped them. The Cowboys went 3 and out. And when they went 3 and out, I got the ball back. I noticed that their safeties they were playing a too high shell. So their safeties were just bailing backwards. They were too high shell, so their safeties would spread out. So what I started doing was I started running the football to the edges. And, I put a fullback in the game. So I had an I formation, and we just ran it left, ran it right, 8 yards, 12 yards. Then guess what those safeties did? Those safeties came down in the box. They had to come down to the box to help the run. As soon as the safeties did that, as soon as they did it, they also played more press coverage. I still don't know why they played press coverage, but the very next pass I threw, you guessed it, is a 62-yard bomb to T. Higgins because press coverage, the safeties were playing run now. The safeties played run, and so I went deep. And T. Higgins caught like 3 touchdown passes for like 240 yards. I mean, he had a hell of a game for me in the Super Bowl. So, yeah, but again, you're right, Madden, you can import the players. And I think for me personally, that's always been a big selling point. So, yeah, play your college game. And remember, NFL football is August 1st. The 2 weeks. 2 friggin' weeks. We get NFL football. Training camp starts on Wednesday for a lot of teams. Training camp starts. So again, we've almost made it through the quote dog days of summer. So yeah, but yeah, I'll be playing college football Friday night. I'll probably stream it. So I want to show you all the in-depth stuff, and I'll do something like that. And then maybe Saturday morning play a game. All right, but all right, guys, that's all I have for you. I do appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out. I know it's kind of a late one on a Sunday, but had to let the jabronis go first. So, and again, it's okay not to like something. However, when you have an agenda like these clowns got, you got to speak up and say something. All right, guys, that's it. I do appreciate you all being here. You all take care. Have a good Monday.